That'll be an interesting one, though.
That'll be a crazy
What are you thinking
fight.
about that fight?
Matters what Conor shows up. Matters what Conor shows up. I would say probably the Conor that's going to show up is the guy we've seen as of late, which is a real rich guy he's training, but I don't think he's as sharp as he was. So, but who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. I think Chandler is definitely hittable, and Conor's more of a pinpoint accurate striker, where Chandler could run into something, like, for sure.
Yeah.
Because Conor is very strategic. He's southpaw. It's that mixed lead from southpaw versus orthodox, and Conor's really good against orthodox guys. So anything could happen.
He's got a good hand fighting
But
game.
Chandler, though, dude, Chandler lands one good shot or puts Conor on his back right away. Conor's in trouble. So we'll see what happens.
I will say, like, at least for me, like, my heart says Chandler.
I want
because
Chandler to win.
he's like salt of the earth, bro.
Right.
Like, that guy is such like a big motivation for me about like the way that I teach, like the way that I think about all the stuff that I do.
Right.
Just like the work that he puts in and stuff is like amazing.
Yeah, he's been dialed in. He was dialed in before the fight even got announced. Like when they were like, they're months and months out from ever fighting. Like he's training like he's about to fight.
Yeah.
So he's just doing.
Although I might say that if McGregor won, it might be better for the sport.
Yeah.
As far as like eyeballs.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, look, good example. I don't think I've seen them do any sort of hype up promos for any fighters in any fights individually like they've done for Conor already. Like, you seen that one where it's Sneed O'Connor or whatever, like that Irish thing?
Yeah, Shay O'Connor.
Yeah.
I think it's Shay O'Connor.
And it's like it's Conor McGregor, and he's walking in the shadows with the green light.
No, this isn't the walkout. You're talking about this is like a promo video?
This is a promo video for McGregor, not for the fight.
Oh.
It's just for McGregor. Like, it just shows him walking, and it's like the shadow silhouette of him, like walking with green light on him.
Whoa.
It's not even promoting the fight. It's promoting McGregor.
Him. Yeah. Wow, so, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was on the UFC thing. But that's you won't see them do that for people.
No. That's the kind of star power that he has. Yeah. And they want him to do as good as possible.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean? So I think it's a pretty even fight.
Yeah.
You know, whoever makes the better decisions obviously is going to win. That's, you know.
I wonder what it's like fighting on that leg again.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Not so much because isn't it true that like when your bones heal back, don't they heal back stronger?
They heal back stronger. Yeah.
It's more like mentally.
Yeah, I think like
imagine
the kicking game,
your leg like
that.
I think
the kicking game, it probably takes time and reps of like, you know, getting back and doing pads. Okay, then sparring with the leg. Okay, now you probably go a little less hard when you first go back to sparring. You got to build your way back up, and you got to build that confidence back in that leg, knowing that, hey, what happened was a fluke. It's not going to happen again.
Yeah.
You know, but that takes time.
I always wonder what his wife thinks about all of his antics. Like, if I was her, I'd absolutely hate it, dude. Like, when he snapped his leg and he's like, "Your wife is in me DMs." He'd come home, I'd be like,
all she's doing is she's getting that money.
You're sleeping on the couch,
she's getting that money.
Oh, yeah.
She's getting that money. You know, people overlook a lot of things when money is given to them. So I'm sure she overlooks a lot of those antics and is like, just come home to me and the kids. We'll be good. So.
Do you think he's doing like a bunch of shit, like just in general in his life?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah. When you get that big, I mean, that's when your character really gets tested, I think. And I think for the most part, he's been caught doing some things that he probably shouldn't be doing. And I think she overlooks a lot of it probably for, you know, she's got 4 kids with him now, I think.
Yeah.
They're just popping out kids. They're living good. Like, I think that's what's going on. But he's you know, he's made this life for him and them.
Yeah.
You know, possible. And without him going on the run and doing all of his antics and all, none of it would happen. So.
Yeah.
So
that's the hard part, though, is I feel like if I was in his position, it'd be hard for me to do
the right thing.
Like well, no.
Oh, okay.
Do like the stuff that he's doing.
Well, the stuff.
But I also grew up in like a Christian family household, so like the idea of doing a lot of that shit like is
crazy.
like foreign to me,
Right.
even if it did sell a fight.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like a little bit of shit talk, like whatever. But
Yeah. Well,
I'm not gonna talk about sliding in your wife's DMs. Bro.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I don't know. And it's like
plus I got a girl. I'm like, I'm not sliding in anybody's
people,
DMs.
I think people nowadays will say anything to promote them or a fight. Especially when you get to that level, it's like, yo, there's a lot of money on the line. Like, that's what people want to see. That's what Instagram wants to see. That's what TikTok wants to see. Like, they want to see you say some crazy shit. And that's what sells.
It's weird that it's unique to the fight game though. Like you don't need to do that with football to sell a game.
No, but also like everybody knows like a fight is like in the real world essence and outside of sport, there's a confrontation. We have an issue. So I think like of course people want to see a fight. When there's confrontation, the first thing they say is world star, put a camera up and they're like, yo, you guys should fight. You know what I mean? Because people have that, whatever that is, that makes humans tick. They want to see people fight when there's a confrontation. So when there's pre-fight, antics where there's a confrontation, people are talking shit, people are pissed off, it sells.
Yeah.
So it's just part of the sport.
Yeah.
People in football don't have to do that because it's not really a conflict. It's just a game with sports and rule. It's a sport with rules and with athletes. That's it. But a fight, it's 1v1 and we got a problem. And so people like when there's that beef or there's that animosity between those two people.
I'm trying to remember who did the quote, but there's this great quote talking about fighting. And he was saying like when you lose and you get knocked out, it's very like what does he say? Basically like if there was no ref, you'd be dead. And you know it.
Yeah.
So
that stands true.
So
right.
There's something like very like primal
about fighting.
About it.
Yeah. And that's what makes it a great sport. That's why it's like everybody can go play the sport, but there's no play fighting. When you fight, you're fighting. So I think people are like, I think some people wish they could do it, and then there's some people who can do it. And it's like it's a sport for not the faint of heart. Because bad things can happen in there.
That's why I think like with I don't think of losses in fighting the same way that people think of losses in like other sports. Like people
it's different.
He's undefeated or whatever.
It's different.
Honestly, like to me, because there's like this whole study that there's this guy Jordan Peterson.
Yeah.
And he wrote some books. I read his first book, and there was the first chapter. He basically talks about they did this study on lobsters.
Okay.
And basically, lobsters fight for territory.
Okay.
And they'll fight for like women.
Okay.
So there'll be two male lobsters that'll fight, and the losing lobster, his posture will change. He'll like start to like slump over and like act defeated, and they're less likely to engage in other conflicts with another male after losing.
Yep.
But they could give them a like SSRI, like a serotonin thing, to basically like get rid of like the depression that they felt, and then they'll go fight.
Wow.
So it's like coming back from a loss like that and figuring out how to not let those feelings of like defeat and like inadequacy like change your whole mode of being.
Right.
And not needing a drug like in that scenario to figure out in your own mind how to work yourself back up to the point where you'll go fuck someone else up.
Yeah.
Like that's what's amazing to me. Like